Tom threw out a cigarette butt. A circle appears on the grass. What the hell was that? He took a pickaxe and dug down, and it turns out the ground is made of Play-Doh. But it wasn't just the land. Even the clouds in the sky are artificial. Tom's been trapped here for 3 days now. 3 days ago, he and Jemima stumbled into this neighborhood. The villas in the neighborhood look like they were copied and pasted together. What's even weirder, there's not a single person in the neighborhood. Finally, a man appeared on the side of the road. Turns out, he's the real estate agent. The agent warmly invited the two of them into Villa No. 9. It looks nice inside, but they were ready to leave. Then they realized the agent had disappeared. They had to drive away, but they never made it out of the neighborhood. Looking at the same old streets, the atmosphere began to become strange, until the two of them came to the door of house number 9 again. Tom couldn't sit still. He thought Jemima was lost, so he decided to take the wheel. But then they ended up back at Villa 9 again. Jemima was about to turn on the navigation. He realized that his cell phone had no signal at all. The car finally ran out of gas. The car was forced to stop. I turned around and saw that it was room 9 again. They had no choice but to go in for the night. They found a bottle of champagne and some strawberries in the fridge. Tom took a bite. The strawberries had no flavor, and the champagne tasted like tap water. They stayed in bed for a long time, unable to sleep. This place didn't even look like a place for the living. After a night's rest, they took a ladder and climbed up to the roof. Tom was stunned by what he saw. The countless copy-pasted houses, as far as the eye could see. Even the clouds in the sky looked monotonous and perfunctory, like a crude template for special effects. He took Jemima and set off in the direction of the sun, but from morning till nightfall, and still couldn't get out. When they turned into a yard again, Jemima was surprised to find a light inside. But when they entered the house, on the table was their leftover food. They went back to Villa 9 again. This time, there was a box outside the door. It's full of food and supplies. Someone was watching them from the shadows. In a fit of rage, Tom set the house on fire. The fire burned all night long. When the sun came up, Jemima found another box in front of her. She opened it. Inside was a baby. There was a message written on the box: "Raise the child and be free." The smoke cleared. Villa 9, which should have burned to the ground, now it's as good as new. They can't get out. This kid is special. He greets his parents with international hand signals, and when he's hungry. And what's even more special, 98 days ago, he was just a baby. The speed at which he's growing up, the couple is both happy and scared. Happy that when the baby grows up, they'll be free, but they're afraid. The speed of the child's growth is too strange. After dinner, Tom puts his trash outside the door and sat in the yard waiting for whoever came to collect the boxes. He wondered who was watching them from the shadows. At that moment, Tom threw a pipe onto the ground. The strange reaction of the grass caught his attention. He grabbed a pickaxe and plowed into it. He found that the ground was made of Play-Doh. Tom thought there was a secret hidden underneath. Maybe it's the only way out of here. Jemima was surprised to find that the crate that had been on the side of the road had disappeared. Tom didn't care. He just kept digging. As the days went by, Tom's emotions began to get the best of him. He put the screaming boy in the car. He looked at the poor boy. Jemima had a motherly instinct. Jemima had a motherly fit and brought him home from the car again. And from then on, Jemima lived with the boy. Tom continued to dig by himself, and when he got tired of digging, he slept in the hole. As he dug deeper and deeper, Tom finally found something. There were strange noises coming out of the ground. The boy turned on the TV. There were strange images playing on it, and he watched it intensely. Jemima found it and unplugged it. But what happened next stunned her. She realized the boy wasn't human at all. That's why Tom had put him in the car. After one night, the boy grew into an adult, and he went out every day. Gemma tried to follow him to see what he was doing, but she always lost him. Sometimes he even got lost himself. On the other hand, Tom was still digging day and night. One day he finally found something. He peeled back the soil. It was a body. Tom was scared out of his wits. His only hope of escaping was dashed. He was so devastated that he couldn't stand it anymore, and lay on the side of the road. Jemima tried to call the boy for help, but he locked the door behind him. He didn't do anything. Tom died in Jemima's arms, but then the boy brought a body bag, and calmly put Tom in the bag, and threw him into a hole he'd dug himself. Tom had no idea, the hole he had dug day and night, that he would end up digging his own grave. Jemima finally exploded in anger. He took a pickaxe and struck the boy. The boy let out a strange cry as he was hit. He crawled on his hands and knees to the side of the road. He lifted his hand and dug into the ground. Jemima rushed to support the ground with his pick. He followed him in, and there he was. He saw people who had been through the same thing. He saw people who had been through the same thing he had been through. Then Jemima began to sink. The next moment he rolled down the stairs, and was back in Villa 9. She came out of the room shaking, and finally collapsed on the floor. The boy put Jemima in a body bag in the same way, and threw her into a pit. Then he filled in the ground. The lawn was automatically restored to its original state. The boy got gasoline from somewhere. He filled it up and drove out of the neighborhood. He went to a real estate agency. The old clerk was gone. The boy took his license plate with him. He put the old clerk in a body bag. After disposing of the body, he sat down at his workstation to welcome the next customer. The movie ends here. The whole movie seems to be a metaphor for our lives. When you have a house and a home, you're so tied down that you lose everything until the end of your life. I'm a little ghost movie. See you next time.